Hear ye! Hear ye!
Good evening, everyone. Let's call the meeting to order. Shall we stand and say the Pledge of Allegiance, please? I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, to the republic stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with justice for all. Thanks all.
Okay, we'll go ahead and get started with the General Manager's report. Chris?
Thank you, Madam President. Members of the board, community, welcome to this evening's open session meeting on May 26th. First, I'm going to answer a couple of questions from the last board meeting. First of all, a member asked when the lounge would be reopened, and I'm happy to say the lounge and veranda did open Wednesday, May 19th. The hours can be found on the website. I do want to point out that Friday and Saturday that the lounge is open later, and you may or may not see Jason or I out there trying to open wine bottles. The question two, a member discussed replacement of a hedge that blocked the view of the golf course maintenance. Also, plants died in the area. Now, there is a hedge that was planted last year that is growing along the fence where there's Carlos Carts and the golf course maintenance. They are small during planting, but they are growing, and so they will grow to cover that fencing area. Now, a member discussed the stream bed near hole 9. The member stated that the water is pooling there. Further, that there's eucalyptus trees on the inside of golf course maintenance that do not look like they're getting enough nutrients. And so I did have this discussion with Mark Birchfield in golf course maintenance, and he will be looking at the area in the stream bed. And also, he will be there's an injection of some tree concoction of nutrients that will be put into those eucalyptus trees. So we should see, hopefully, that they can return to their normal state of healthiness. Next question, a member commented that they liked the e-blasts and other communications that update the community. The member would like the results of the surveys communicated to the membership, perhaps using SurveyMonkey. And the member is actually correct, Ken Johnson, but that we do need better follow-up. And so I am working with Good Day Sun Lakes. They've talked about using SurveyMonkey. I know in the Finance Advisory Committee, that was an item that was brought up by Ajit to bring up. And so this will be something that the board and management does use, and that those results will be communicated, because if you take the time to fill out a survey, it'd be nice to know what the results were. So I agree with you, Ken. Next, I'm going to talk about distressed yards for abandoned homes. Now, several members have reached out to me regarding the distressed yards at homes that are empty, that have been abandoned. They're not necessarily owned by the association. They could still be, the member owns it, but they're not there to occupy the property. And members may feel that they can simply go onto the property and clean up the yard by themselves. They should not do this. It would be trespassing. The distressed yard items were previously submitted to the Master Architectural Committee for review. That was the process that they would go through, fines, follow-up, and then a referral to the board. What the board has done, I believe this was in March, the board stated that if the property is vacant and there are distressed yards, that those should be directly sent to the board for self-help. And what self-help is where the association hires a third-party contractor to go on to the property and clean up the yard. Now, there's a process that we have to follow before the association can step in and address those yard violations. For example, the process must follow a disciplinary hearing process. These hearings are governed by Civil Code 5850 and 5855, which establish a simple system of how the process should work. The process begins with a written notice to the homeowner at least 10 days before the hearing, informing the homeowner of the date, time, and place of the meeting, the nature of the alleged violation, and notification that the member may address the board directly at a meeting. This notice is sent via first-class mail. The member may or may not show up. The board can still proceed with the hearing and approve a self-help authorization work. Within 15 days after the hearing, the association must, in writing, inform the member of any discipline imposed. The process must be followed because procedural violations invalidate the disciplinary action. A hearing is necessary before discipline or reimbursement assessments can be imposed. This includes, of course, self-help cleanups. So each time that we are going to do a self-help, we have to go through this process of having a hearing, even though the house is abandoned. Send it to the last known address, you put them on the agenda for a hearing, and then you send a follow-up. It is time-consuming, but that is the process legally that we must go through. Next, budget season is starting. The budget schedule will be posted soon on the website. The board, and Jason will give an update that the board did receive a first draft of the timeline. There will be future delegate and open session meetings to go over the budget, and there will be workshops. Now, a little section that is a brand new one called Corrections and Retractions. Beverly Simmons actually brought up an item that I had stated in my recent coffee with the GM, and I appreciate Anita Lawrence and the Good Day Sun Lakes team for setting that up. Now, I had stated that the pools were not closed in 2020. I need to make a correction. The pools did actually close on December 7th, 2020, through the end of that year of 2020 after the stay-at-home order was issued. So in actuality, there were 25 days in 2020 that the pool was closed. The rest of the time, the pools operated at reduced hours and limited capacity. Thank you, Beverly, for bringing this to my attention. And I do want to remind the community that Jason and I are doing our weekly administration updates the first week or the first Tuesday of the month with Good Day Sun Lakes, and that we will be doing on the fourth Tuesday Coffee with the GM. And please send any questions that you'd like answered to slccquestions@gmail.com. That completes my report.
Thank you, Chris. And Jason, the executive session action report, please.
Thank you, Madam President. Good evening, everyone. This report will give the community an update on actions that were taken by the board at their executive sessions that were held on May 10th, May 12th, and May 26th, at which time litigation, member discipline, formation of contracts, and personnel matters were discussed. With member matters, the board reviewed 2 show cause hearings. The board reviewed 8 homeowner requests for delinquency fee waivers. The board reviewed 4 member requests for an overnight parking variance. The board reviewed an appeal of a MAC decision. The board reviewed a homeowner request for a payment plan. The board met with 3 homeowners based on their individual requests to meet with the board. The board met with the chair of the FAC and then reviewed and discussed the FAC initiatives and investment policy. The board reviewed and discussed 2 requests from the Safety Advisory Committee. The board reviewed and denied 2 requests to delay the recording of notice of default. Legal. The board approved the minutes from the March 24th, April 7th, April 28th, and May 12th, 2021 executive sessions. The board approved the F&B and golf receivables as of April 30th, 2021. The assessment accounts receivable as of April 30th, 2021, as well as the Securitas Incident Analytic Report from April 16th through May 17th, 2021. The board approved a foreclosure on lien and recorded the notice of default on the following: APN 440-020-053 and APN 440-160-010. And the board voted to make Director Spalding the treasurer. Formation of contracts. The board received updates from the management company on a number of items. The board reviewed the first draft of the budget schedule. The board continued to discuss the strategic plan. The board approved adding an additional patrol to the daytime and swing shifts on the weekends based on a recommendation from the Safety Advisory Committee. The board met with department heads to continue to get an update on their departments. The board continued their board orientation with management. The board reviewed and adjusted pay rates for frontline staff. The board reviewed and approved a phase approach to opening the restaurant, sandwich, and lounge facilities. The board reviewed closing all gates except 1 and 2 from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. This item has been tabled and will be brought back after 90 days to continue to get input from the community. And finally, the board approved having the June executive sessions on June 16th and June 30th, and to have the June open session moved to June 30th. It will still be at the same time, it just will be moved to June 30th. And that completes the report on executive session actions.
Thank you, Jason. Okay, we'll start with report, City of Banning.
Now it's on. Good evening, board members and my neighbors. I'm Mary Hamlin. I happen to be your city council representative, and I have some information for you from last night's city council meeting. First of all, everybody's favorite topic, traffic. First of all, I'm working with Beaumont to get a left turn signal for the eastbound traffic on First Street at Highland Springs, where it becomes Sun Lakes Boulevard. They have to do a traffic study and look at the accident reports, but I'm going to stay on them for that. But I am cooperating with the city of Beaumont on that. Sun Lakes Boulevard extension. I know we've all heard about it. However, it's expected to be shovel-ready or break ground early in 2022. I'm going to guess probably by the third quarter. I-10 and Highland Springs interchange. The Riverside County Transportation Commission, or the RCTC, is drawing up plans to make improvements. They'll be working with the cities of Banning and Beaumont and Caltrans. The plans right now do not include doing anything to the I-10 bridge. In other words, Interstate 10. They're not going to touch that. They might change the westbound exit and have it come off earlier and divert it to Joshua Palmer, have Joshua Palmer make a right turn by the hotel, and then a left turn and go behind the Farms House and Denny's and the service station. That's on the drawing board. It'll take about 6 years to complete this project. But Beaumont has plans to take 2nd Street through to Pennsylvania Avenue and improve Pennsylvania Avenue, and the Sun Lakes Boulevard extension should be finished by then. So once they start all of that at I-10 and Highland Springs, you won't have to go through it to get to the freeway. So you can do your shopping, whatever, on this side of the freeway, and then go over to Sunset and go up that way, or go down Pennsylvania, go down 1st Street or 2nd Street and go westbound. So we're going to watch and see what happens there. Okay, number 2, the homeless situation, in other words, Ramsey Street Village. As many of you know, that burned down in December. It was due to a blanket being too close to a hot plate. And fortunately, one of the young men who lived there recognized what was going on and was able to alert everybody and get them out. So nobody was injured. However, everybody lost everything. And then the county housing authority kind of came in and took over. It should be ready for occupancy in 2 to 3 months. We've received the insurance money and are waiting on notification of some grants. But paving and utilities are going in, and they're going to hire a site coordinator, manager, and security before letting any residents in. It will be transitional housing, 60 to 90 days stay, and the residents must participate in programs designed to get them in a more stable situation. Now, one of the things we can do as citizens is do not give anything to anybody on the street. I know we're tempted, and believe me, seniors are the worst offenders. But I'm going to tell you, if you give $1 to somebody on the street, they can go over to McDonald's and buy a soda, which I do, $1. But when they finish it, what do? They throw it on the ground, creating litter. Also, if you give that dollar to Carol's Kitchen, Table of Plenty, Help, Set Free, first of all, the money goes farther. And second of all, it goes to the right people. Because I guarantee you, a lot of the people who are panhandling are not homeless. And it's also a safety issue for traffic, having people come out into the traffic to give them something, and your personal safety. And it will encourage people who do not want to participate in the program to get them someplace better. It will encourage them to go somewhere else. Number 3, Ring of Honor. I don't know how many of you know what the Ring of Honor is, but it's down at the City Hall, and nobody's been nominated or placed in the Ring of Honor since, I'm going to guess, 2003 or 4. Right now, it's terribly overgrown. You can't even see it. The fountain doesn't work, but there are plans to revitalize it, clean it up, repair it, and also plans to adjust the criteria and reestablish the nomination committee. It's probably going to cost, my guess is about $50,000 to get it all done, and the improvements will probably be done through donations and grant funds. And if you want more information about the Ring of Honor, contact George Moyer. He knows a lot more about it than I do. Okay, some good news. City Hall will reopen for employees on June 1st, but some will still work remotely, and it will reopen to the public on Monday, June 8th. And more good news, summer recreation. Concerts in the park are being planned. I know some of you like to go to the Playhouse Bowl. They're planning for that. July 4th will have fireworks, and the gates will open at 6 p.m. And classes, Zumba Gold will be on Monday and Wednesdays at 9 a.m., and it's $3 a class. Aqua Zumba will be Monday and Wednesday from 6:30 to 7:15 p.m., and it's $3.50 a class. And pickleball singles only, $1 per session. Are there any questions?
Mary, I have one if I could, please.
Okay.
Right here.
Oh, okay, there you, I knew you were on a microphone. Where, okay.
Could you please tell me if you are going to address a tunnel, a bridge, lights between Gate 3 and 4?
The plans that I have heard will have a signal, a stoplight. And there'll be a stoplight at the main gate as well. The challenge for you guys is traffic control in the main gate. And my suggestion is you open up Gate 5 more, because if traffic backs up on Highland Springs in that middle turn lane, it doesn't affect the other traffic. But we all know come Mother's Day and Father's Day and things like that, the traffic can get pretty bad out there. And that's something the city doesn't have control over. It's you guys controlling who comes in. So my suggestion is think about making Gate 5 more accessible and directing people to go there.
And one last question.
Okay.
The RV lot.
Okay, the RV lot. I understand that there have been a lot of break-ins and catalytic converters have been stolen. And according to the zoning, razor wire is not allowed. However, there is an appeal process on that. And I'm in the process of getting the documentation, the form that you fill out, and we can talk about that. But, and I talked to Art Villa last night about that. Oh, no, it was, I don't know, one of the guys in charge, and he said there is an appeal process, and I said, well, the lot is not on a main street. It backs up to the open field. It's not like it's going to be real visible to people. Can we get some sort of permission for razor wire? And he says, yeah, there's a process. So I'm in the process of getting the form. When I get the form, I'll come to you guys and we'll talk about it. But yeah,
My question was, are you going to put a light there? Entering and exiting, towing your vehicles is, sometimes takes a little while.
I'm not sure about that, but I can talk to Art and ask him if they're going to put another signal at the RV lot. So let me write that down.
Thank you, Mary.
Mary, I had a question concerning the 5 police officer positions that the city has now approved.
Yes.
Do you know what the time frame for that is, and will any of the man-hours be designated to our community here in Sun Lakes?
I'm not sure about a designated officer strictly for Sun Lakes. 4 of the new hires are in training right now, and 4 more are going into training, and I imagine it will be six weeks or so before the first 4 come out, and about 12 weeks before the last 4. But I can ask, I'm sure that they're going to have more patrols out here. What they have done is they have pulled some of the officers off of patrol and put them on solving cold cases, which they have done a very good job of. So that's what's going on there.
Thank you.
Mary, you have a question here?
Okay. Hi.
You need to come to the mic so everybody can hear you.
As to the homeless mini housing, what are they going to do to make sure to ensure that it doesn't burn down again? And are hot plates and things going to be allowed again? They are very small quarters.
Well, the first thing is there's going to be an on-site manager, and they're going to arrange them in a circle instead of packed together. But there will be somebody paid, hired, to maintain the rules there, and they will have security. So the likelihood of infractions will be greatly reduced, and infractions such as drinking, drugs, visitors, things like that. So probably it will lessen the likelihood of anything like that happening again. Any other questions? Hearing none, I thank you for your attention. And who is it once said, I'll be back? So, yeah, I'll be
MacArthur.
back.
Thank you, Mary.
General MacArthur.
Okay, we'll go to the sub-associations. Lakeside? Lakeside 2? Okay, thank you. Fairway Villas. Okay. How about the Delegate Assembly?
Madam President and Board of Directors, we had our meeting on May 6th. We moved to the first Thursday of the month so that we could get better communication to our residents. We began the meeting with electing a vice chair of the District Delegate Assembly, Randy Robbins, and he's here this evening. We're delighted to have him aboard, believe me. Next, we had reports from the Charitable Trust and the Recreation Department and the Food and Beverage Operation. I would like to make a comment in regards to Charity Week. That is very, very important for Sun Lakes, but more important for our community in the Pass area. It is really important that we get back to donating to the Pass area, to the needy, and Sun Lakes has always done more than anyone in the community and the whole Pass area, and we'd like to get back in that stead. So if you can, would you please participate in the activities of Charity Week? We had a guest speaker. We had the Vice President, Executive Vice President of First Service Residential, and her name is Robin Brown, and she gave us a talk and then answered questions after the meeting of the delegates, and she was very personable and very responsive, and we wanted to thank her for attending. Finally, there was one item, a presentation, and that had to do with what happens when a delegate or an alternate delegate resigns or dies or moves away during the year. Remember that delegates and alternate delegates are elected. They're elected officials of our HOA, just as the board of directors are elected. But throughout the year, we probably lose sometimes 2, 3, 5 of our delegates or our alternate delegates. Following the state law of having an election would be extremely expensive. So the board came up with a plan, and what we do is that a submission is made to the board of directors after a research into that district of recent delegates, of residents that might be interested, and a name is then submitted to the board of directors for approval or denial. And that's what happens today, and has happened in the last, I'd say, almost 15 years, and it will be the plan for the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Joe. Okay, we'll go to the committee reports. Bingo. How about common area? Communications.
Madam, report from communications. This came from the chair, Lee Stone. Lee Stone said, as clubs, groups, and events are reopening, we are receiving more requests for publicity. In the last 2 months, we've created 29 promotional videos for publication on Channel 97 and Good Day Sun Lakes and Facebook. In addition, this month we began a series of Meet the Staff videos. We will continue to film monthly master board and district delegate meetings, as well as the admin update with Chris and Jason. Just yesterday, we premiered the monthly Coffee with the GM with host Anita Lawrence. We look forward to spending a session with the board and creating a video to introduce you all to our Sun Lakes neighbors. And that completes Lee's report.
Thank you. How about EPAP? The Finance and Treasurer's Report?
Good evening, Board. Good evening, residents. I just wanted to go over the Finance Committee, what our purpose is here, to advise and make recommendations to the Master Board on matters pertaining to finances. Our goal is to provide the information necessary for the Board to make prudent and proper control of the HOA's cash and assets. On a monthly basis, we review the financial statements and reserve expenditures and meet with the General Manager regarding any variances. As of April, we're still concerned about the Food and Beverage Department that has projected an annual loss of somewhat over budget. We have recently presented the Board with 4 projects for their consideration. If approved, the committee will move forward with a written detailed proposal which we believe can have the results of increasing reserves and perhaps maintaining HOA fees. We look forward to working with our board liaison, Linda Spalding, and the new board. Our monthly meetings are the 3rd Tuesday and are open to residents. You're welcome to observe during the meeting, and after the meeting, you may ask questions or make comments. Thank you. 2 o'clock. Thank you.
Thank you. How about Golf Advisory Committee? The library? Lifestyles? Marketing? the Master Architectural Committee.
Good evening, Madam President, Board, and fellow residents. As I prepared to write the monthly report for the Master Board, the Architectural Committee, Master Architectural Committee is really seeing a greater concern from friends and neighbors related to the restricted zone on golf cart lots. It's the hot topic right now. It's an important time for me to share our role as the Master Architectural Committee in reviewing your applications for making changes to anything to the outside of your house. We follow the architectural standards and guidelines. Possibly with so many new residents, realtors aren't sharing the importance of reading the documents that come when you purchase your house, but you have a copy of the information that you obtained when you purchased your house. A current copy of the architectural standards is on the Sun Lakes website. It's easy to navigate. It's also much easier for you if you'd like to go to your telephone book. Pages 70 to 86 are the architectural standards and guidelines that we follow. Page 85 is a diagram that talks about the restricted zone on golf cart lots. Or you can obtain a copy of this information and ask questions of the Planning and Compliance Department. It is possible that you have an obstruction in this part of your landscaping, and it's called the restricted zone. So it's a 10-foot triangle on the wall of the corner of your property on a golf cart lot. Possibly when planting was placed there, it was 19 inches tall, but the wall is about 30 inches, and the requirement is that anything that's growing in that 10-foot triangle at the corner of your lot on the golf course needs to be 36 inches tall or less. If it doesn't comply now, you need to obtain a landscaping permit to make the change that's going to be necessary. So thank you very much. That's the end of my report.
Thank you, Dave. How about the Recreation Department? Yay!
He was tall. Just go down, Jason. I can't. Sorry. I know. I said. I'm short. Good evening, board and our residents. Happy to see you all. It's just nice to be seen these days, isn't it? Well, you haven't had a recreation report for a very, very long time, but we actually have things going on now, and we're happy to report all of that. We just recently had, in April, we had a blood drive. We had 30 donations accepted, which is really a very good turnout. And then exciting, we had Meridian Travel come and visit us and give us some ideas for wonderful trips. And we had about 90 people, I think it was, that attended the 2 sessions. And there were 30 people who already signed up for trips, because everybody's getting very excited about going on a trip. And then in May, I don't know how many of you came to the shredding event. I came up early, and the cars were already back out to Country Club Drive, so I said, I'll come back. So I did, but it was still crowded when I came back at noon. And I said, oh my gosh, boy, did we all collect a bunch of papers during this pandemic. So that probably was a side effect of those things. So anyway, it was kind of fun. I chuckled about it. And then we had our health fair, and that was held out in the parking lot. The attendance was great. We had 24 vendors, and the residents enjoyed that too. It's an activity, and it was a wonderful way for people to get out and see their neighbors. And then we had our good old-fashioned ice cream social, and everybody loves the ice cream social. And I wasn't able to be there that day, and I was sad because I always enjoy it. I work almost all of them. So anyway, everybody was happy to be back. I got all good reports, so I was happy to hear that one too. Then just this week, we had Premier Travel come and offer a lot of wonderful trips too. We had about 100 people between the 2 sessions. I don't have an update on how many people might have booked with Premier. We're all familiar with Premier. They've been around here for a long time now, and they're wonderful. You know, they come pick us up and right here in Sun Lakes and take us to the airport. And we used to have Matt Jekyll, and he always had donuts for us. So at the airport, while we were all trying to get checked in, Matt always gave us donuts. So that's sort of a requirement we've asked him to have. So, we got to keep these traditions going. The other wonderful, exciting news is that we are going to be having Renee Rogenaro, thank you, back on our veranda on Wednesday evenings. I believe that's a Wednesday. She will be here on June the 2nd on the veranda. And I think she has several events coming up, one a month. And everybody always enjoys her. She's very lively and entertaining to have, so that's exciting. And another ice cream social on the 15th of June. And then we have comedy night coming up with Jason Love and his group. It's almost sold out. I think at this point in time, it is sold out, but there is a wait list. So call the recreation office, either Elise or Linda, and they will get you fixed up, and you'll be able to come and enjoy that show. So the world is starting to go again. Isn't that wonderful?
It is.
Thank you.
Thanks, Patricia. How about the RV storage?
Boy, it's nice to be here again.
Yes, it is.
Right now, the committee is working, as well as the employees, on getting bids to re-slurry the RV storage lot. It was due last year at the request of the committee. We didn't do it last year. We just didn't think the timing was right. It's time to get it done now, and it's in the bid process. That will probably happen in July or August of this year. There was something mentioned about the catalytic converters that were taking at the storage lot. Mine happened to be one of them. I believe there was a total of 5. Those vehicles were all selected because of the year and the make. That's how they determined what they were doing. I had opportunity to speak to a Banning police officer, as well as Mike Romero, a lieutenant for our security here at Sun Lakes. When those catalytic converters were taken, in process was a new video system going in down there. It was about halfway through the total process of the installation, and these people just got in right under because we would have got them on camera. Mike Romero was nice enough to open up the security facility to our committee and let us go down there and watch the new camera system work. It's amazing what it does, not only by motion, but by video. So we can see a lot. It's always been my feeling that security is good to keep the honest people out. If the criminal's going to get in there, there's no way in the world that we could stop them. The police officer from the city of Banning was witness to a vehicle that was in the parking lot at Walmart, went in there to do his shopping, came out less than an hour later, and somebody had gotten under his vehicle and stolen the catalytic converter. They ran security video, and they had it on security video, and it took 40 seconds to go under that car, or it was a truck, go under the truck, cut it off, put it in the trunk of their car, and get out of there. 40 seconds, that's how long it took. So, like I say, I think our security system, and especially with the new cameras and the upgrades, is about as good as we can get. I think there's still a couple weaknesses in fencing around it, but they're working on that. I know there's a new light going on over there at a dark spot. But like I say, I'd like to sit down there a few nights with a rifle and just see. Anyway, we have currently 3 vacancies in the lot, and I have a lot list that I was given yesterday afternoon for 10 people waiting for them. So those spaces will probably be filled within the next few days. Thank you.
Thank you so much. How about the restaurant and lounge? And safety. Okay. Hopefully we'll start getting a few more committees coming back in here in the next couple of months. Okay, we'll go to the consent agenda. Would any board member like to take any item off the consent agenda? Okay, if none, I'll call for a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I move that the consent agenda be approved.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Approved 5-0. Okay, these are the items that were approved. We approved the minutes for March 24th, 2021, April 28th, 2021, April 30th, 2021. Approved the receive and file of the April financial statements, approval of the liens. And Chris, I'll ask you to read those, please.
Those liens for account numbers 2047-01, 0333-02, 1369-03, and 1564-01. It completes the list.
Thank you, Chris. We also approved the appointment of the RV Committee member Larry Estermeyer. Also allowed the Lifestyles Committee to expand to 9 members. We approved the recommendation to add the chair of the Restaurant and Lounge Committee to the Communications Committee. We approved the appointment of Don Foster and Lila Wolden to the Safety Committee. Accepted the resignation of FAC member Kathy Weeks. Accepted the resignation of District 11 Delegate Janice Wilhelmsen. Approved the appointment of Melinda Jones as a District 11 Delegate. Also, the appointment of Jack Sidwell as the District 19 alternate delegate, and the appointment of Gladys Burks as the District 18 delegate. And we'd like to thank those who have served for their service and who will be serving. Thank you for your volunteerism. Oh, Melinda's here. Melinda Jones? Oh, you can stand up. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you. Oh. Okay, we'll go to new business, and I'll have Linda read the treasurer's report, please.
Thank you. From the Financial Advisory Committee, I'm giving you a partial report for April. The net income for the month of April was $515,587 and was $561,148 better than budgeted, bringing the year-to-date net income to $850,617 and is $765,508 better than was budgeted, so that looks good. The balance sheet in April continued strong, with total assets increasing to $14,294,255, including cash and cash equivalent of $13,481,732. At month end, current liabilities and accrued payroll were $726,921, with operating account funds and receivables at $930,305. The complete report from the Finance Committee will be in the Lifestyle, but I want to thank Ron Varner and the FAC Committee for all of the work that you have done. And now I'm going to give you my report. I will start with the restaurant. For the month of April, The restaurant, as we know, has not been operating at 100%. Many challenges have been facing the restaurant with difficulty in staffing, limited occupancy based on the COVID numbers from Riverside County, and we're still not open for breakfast yet. So let's hope that can change. Dinner was budgeted for a projected income of $44,565. The restaurant's actual sale for the month of April was $27,281. So as you can see, we fell $17,286 short. Can we do better? I hope so. What if each homeowner spent $40 a month at the restaurant, times 12 months is $480. But if you multiply that $480 times 3,327 homes, our restaurant revenue would be $1.6 million. Now that's something I think we can all work towards. Many of us come up more than once a month, so we will make up for those who are unable to come. And I'm going to report on this every month, how we're doing. And hopefully we can get the numbers up and the restaurant used. I feel bad because a lot of people who bought homes here in 2020 didn't have that opportunity. And so we need to encourage them to come up. If they're new neighbors, invite them to come up with you. If you have suggestions on how we could improve or what you'd like to see in the restaurant, please call me, call any board member. We really want to work towards making this a fantastic amenity. We had a great opening on the veranda and the lounge on May 19th, 20, 21, and 22. And this is so exciting. We had a grand total just for those 14 days of $17,150. Do we need that lounge and veranda open? I mean, this is such fantastic news. It was nice to see the residents come out. They danced, they met friends that they haven't seen in a long time, and they froze. It was so cold, but they came out and just had a wonderful time. We even had our general manager and assistant general manager delivering hors d'oeuvres to the staff, to the residents. So they were masked on, gloves on, and delivering cheese, crackers, roast beef, and ham. They did a fantastic job, but they're not for hire. I want to give you a report on the golf. In April, we are really moving in the right direction. The annual dues increased $7,819.45. And I think we can see that increased because if you purchased an annual, the board made the decision that you could pay that annual in a 12-month period. And so the report from Brian, our golf pro, is that we are at the annual rate that we saw in 2018. So that is really, really encouraging. Green fees for guests increased $1,737, and the golf cart rentals for the guest increased $1,354. The driving range revenue, this is amazing, increased $3,737. And I think it's because the golf lessons that Brian and Alex have been doing have been sold out. They take 10. So if you're taking golf lessons, doesn't it make sense to go to the driving range and practice what you've learned? So I'm saying that's why we've increased that, and it's really exciting. The board is working with the golf pro, Brian, to look at weekend activities. We really recognize that more and more people that are moved into Sun Lakes are continuing to work. So we want weekend programs. Then we're looking at maybe a putting group, maybe I call it pitch and putt. What is it supposed to be? No, well, we're going to do something on the executive course where you pitch it and then you putt it. And
You're
some
looking for chip and putt.
chip and putt. Thank you, Beverly. Chip, I always use pitch, I don't know. But anyways, chip and putt. Somebody brought up today, and we all laughed, but what about Frisbee golf on the driving range? That would be fun. You don't need a golf club. You just have to throw a Frisbee. But we're talking about that. So for the month of April, the golf revenue, are you ready for this? $14,615. We're doing good. So let's continue to use the restaurant. Let's get out and use the beautiful golf courses, and I'll give you my report next month. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Linda. Okay, we'll go on to item B, looking at the final approval of Rule Amendment 21-01 on the change related to golf course dress code. And Chris, would you please read the rule change?
Yes, thank you. So this rule change, proposed rule amendment notification, or 2101, rule change related to golf course dress code. The proposed rule change was brought to the February 24th open session for a reading. During that time, it was also publicized in the April 2021 edition of the Lifestyles. If approved this evening, it would take effect June 1st, 2021. The rule amendment would read under Article 8, Golf Course Rules and Regulations, Section 8.02, Sun Lakes Country Club Golf Course and Facilities Dress Code, would read, as modified, unacceptable apparel for men or women includes the following: tank tops, halter tops, spaghetti straps, fishnet tops, t-shirts, cutoffs, cotton fleece sweatpants with elastic at the bottom, gym running shorts, bathing suits, or blue jeans and blue denim clothing or flip-flops. In essence, this modifies the rule that had previously stated all denim was banned. And so you would be able to wear denim that is not of the blue jeans or blue color. That is the rule change.
Thank you, Chris. Okay, I'll entertain a motion on this, please.
I move to accept this new rule change for allowing denim as long as it's not blue.
I second that motion.
Thank you. Any board comments? Any comments from the members? Okay, I'll call for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Passes 4-1. Okay, on item C under this, we're going to review the final approval of Rule Amendment 2102 on the rule change related to the point of sale system. Chris, would you please read the rule?
Yes, Madam President. So this, again, is the required rule change 2102, required use of point of sale system, originally placed on the and approved for reading at the February 24th, 2021 open session. The board then had it publicized in the April 2021 edition of Lifestyles. If approved, this rule would take effect June 1st, 2021. The rule change language would read under Article 4 General Rules 4.10, Mandatory Point of Sale System. Use of the association's golf operations, food and beverage operations, and other amenities which utilize the association's point of sale system requires that a customer, the end user, data be entered into the system. All persons using the association's golf operations, food and beverage operations, and other amenities consent to the collection and use of their end user data in the POS system in accordance with the Club Essentials Terms of Service and Privacy Policy, the terms and conditions of which may change from time to time, located on the website https://www.clubessential.com. The association makes no warranties or representation regarding the security or confidentiality of the end user data collected. That completes the report or the update on the rule.
Thank you, Chris. So I'll ask for a motion to approve the rule change.
I move to accept the final approval of the Rule Amendment 21-02, the rule change related to required use of the point of sale system.
I'll second that.
Okay, any comments from the board?
I would make a comment. This isn't anything new, really. When you order from Spectrum, when you buy a movie from Spectrum, they use a similar system where they take your information so that they can send it to the cloud, and the cloud can send it to Spectrum, and Spectrum can charge you. But we own, if I'm correct in this, we own that data. That data stays here on our server. That data is not going out to Joe Blowout, wherever. This is staying here, and it's used with in-house. Right now, I believe we are doing, when you go in and you swipe your card in the restaurant, you're using a point-of-sale system. We're gathering your data there. So this really isn't anything new. This really isn't something that has the capability of being sold. We use this every day. You go to Albertsons and you use your debit card. You go to Chili's and you use, everyone is using that. And, you have all the disclaimers that say we can't guarantee that, but it stays on our database. It's not something that's going out. And if I'm incorrect with this, Chris, please.
I'm just going to make one correction. You are correct that the data is on our server. What has kind of perpetuated this need for this rule is with the expansion of the new website and the smart app, Club Essentials now has to, in essence, pull the data from our server to populate the app. So I'll use the example that you're going to the restaurant or you're on the golf course and you want to make a reservation. In order for the data to be populated on your cell phone, it has to reach out to Club Essentials cloud server. The cloud server then communicates and pulls the data off of our server here, located in the administration office, to say, is this a valid member? Yes. Pull her data that she has a house account, or maybe it's Beverly. She has a house account, and that this is her number. Then Beverly gets that information, yep, and inputs that I'd like a reservation in the restaurant. That then data is sent to the cloud. The cloud sends it to our server so that it's sent then to food and beverage to know Beverly's going to be showing up at X period of time. So the data, the only change is, you're correct, the data is here, but Club Essentials has to pull some of that data to populate the Android or iPhone application, as well as the new website that we're going to. So that's where the data, but everything else where we've been using it, when you've processed a credit card at the restaurant, the golf course, that data has been used by Club Essentials to process and get cash and collect that cash or the revenue, the electronic payment into our account. When you got an ID card, you took a picture, and this is your unique number, and so that I can then create a house account for you that you would get billed by Kelly Lamb in our accounting department, for your house account. One other thing is, and Beverly's spot on, this data is ours, it's not being sold. There was concerns in the past that the data was going to be sold. Other people may, in credit cards, you have a Discover card, American Express, they may sell your data. The data here is our data. Club Essentials is the vehicle to process the transaction, to know who I should be billing and who is the person, so I can bill Beverly when she buys Jason and I pizza. So that is, and one of the things that was the biggest move on this point of sale system is, you have to remember several years ago, we had a great entity called the California Department of Tax and Fee Administration come back-to-back years to look at our tax, our revenue that we reported on our returns, our sales and use tax returns. And one of the things that they had said is, well, you're open to the public. That's why many years ago in 2018, the board had said, I'm going to utilize the point of sale system. I'm going to have to make sure that everyone has a card, so I ensure the only people I'm serving are members. And this is a key thing that had to be utilized, so that when recently the California or the CDTFA came back out, they saw that we made the corrections, that there was not that concern of, well, you're not serving you're serving to people who come in for bingo. Nope, it's only to members. And so that data you pulled back, you utilized for the POS system. And finally, the purpose is to make everyone aware that you have to use the POS system in order to conduct transactions with the association. If you do not wish to opt into that, that's fine, but you won't be able to conduct business in the pro shop or in the restaurant. So that's just a little addition.
Thanks, Chris.
Thank you. Any other comments from the board? How about members from the community? Any comments from the members? You're all good with it? Okay. I will call for a vote then to approve the point of sale system change. I'm not a vote. A motion, I'm sorry. Did we motion? We did it already. I'm sorry, now I'm calling for the
It was
vote.
made and seconded.
Made in second, all in,
Say, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 5-0. Ah, yeah, that was good. Okay, we'll go to member comments. I have one slip. Barbara, you want to come to the podium, please?
Thank you. Just a couple of points. I know we have 2 lawsuits pending, and I know you can't talk about them very much, but I was just curious if funds have been set aside, or do we wait until we see the results of the lawsuit? That's one of my questions. We're going back to, or we want to see if this is going to be resurrected again, the golf landscaping and the drought landscaping that it's kind of gone by the wayside for a while. I know the board's probably heard plenty of comments about it, and when the new board might be picking up on that to resolve some of the issues homeowners have with the drought landscaping. Also, I know the strategic plan is being worked on, and hopefully this might be the board that might share that sooner than later with the membership. So I don't think that many of the members know the strategic plan, and it would be nice before you finalize it if you could get homeowner comments. Thank you.
Thank you, Barbara. Any other comments from the members? Okay, with that, we'll start with board member comments. I'll start on this end with Bob, please.
Yes, I just wanted to say welcome back. It's nice being back out in public, participating, going to the restaurant, going to the lounge, going to the bar and veranda. It's been a long time coming, but normalcy is right around the corner. We opened up the veranda bar and lounge on the 19th, and we did have entertainment, and we had admin staff, Chris and Jason, helping us out. They did an excellent job. I'm going to recommend that they continue in that capacity. As we hire and train more employees, we'll be able to continue to reopen more, have more hours available, and also eventually open up the sand wedge. So just be patient. We're working on it. It's a phased reentry, and it's based upon essentially having the employees and training them properly. Tomorrow morning, there will be a admin yard sale, 9 o'clock out by the paddle tennis courts. So if you want to get some of the nice equipment and furniture and different things that were here before, stop by. The price is right. Last but not least, I wanted to mention that we're going to be doing a Olympic type event here during the Olympics themselves, which is the 23rd of July through the 8th of August. So we're going to have different games and activities. It's going to be club-based, and it'll encourage people to come out and participate and get involved in many, many different activities. The winners, based upon the clubs, will control that. We'll be receiving actual medals, gold, silver, and bronze medals, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Anyone interested in participating in that in any capacity, please contact myself or Randy Robbins. He's the co-chair of that particular event. Thank you.
Thank you, Bob. Beverly?
Bob, I want to know who's in charge of javelin throwing?
No javelin throwing, no risky type events, but the events will be really centered around the clubs, like golf and tennis and bocce, gardening, whatever a club wants to participate. We will provide, there'll be no cost to the clubs. The rec department has already approved the budget. It's not a large budget, but the budget to do that, and our committee will be organizing all the events. Thank you.
So I just want to tag on to what Bob was saying about the opening of the veranda. That was incredibly well attended. And what was really fun was to see the fun, the joy and the excitement that is Sun Lakes coming back at that moment. We were thinking that was going to kind of kick off with Charity Week, and I'm sure it will continue on with that. But it was nice to see it happening right away. People were all so thrilled to be out there. We had music, we had dancing, we had fun. So thank everyone who did come out, and thank you for remembering kindness, because it was evident there. So Charity Week, we are almost sold out of everything. We sold almost 60 pancake tickets today. So we are sold out of, I think we still have some tickets available for the first seating for the pancake breakfast. Excuse me. The Monday night event and the Friday night event have been sold out. The Monster Scramble has 2 singles still available. If you're interested, see Marcia. The Sunday Scramble is almost sold out as well. We've got 23 or 4 teams, which is really good. The shootout, what else are we doing? It is sold out. I am thrilled to see the support once again from Sun Lakes. Like Joe was saying, we give so much. I mean, even last year when we didn't have an event, people gave. It was just amazing. So Charity Week is going to be fun. If you haven't bought a ticket and you want to just come down and watch the ball drop, then I invite you to do that, because that's always fun to see. So we're kicking it off Monday, June 7th, and thank you. And the charity bar is open every single day. Thanks.
Thanks, Beverly. Linda?
Thank you very much. I too want to tell everybody how much we really appreciated those who came out Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and let's hope we can continue that. And I just got an update for May 1st through the 23rd, and we had 931 curbside tickets. That means 933 meals went out. And in the dining room, 2,281 tickets. So we see people coming out. It's very exciting, and the food is wonderful. Service is great. Staff is amazing. I know we have a lot of new staff, but they are amazing. So again, if you have any input for the restaurant, things that you'd like to see, please let us know. Thank you.
Before we go on, I want to just tag on to this, if I may. If you plan to come to the restaurant Friday or Saturday, please make a reservation. They're packed.
Okay, and Lori.
I would just like to thank everybody also. I attended Friday night, and it was a wonderful time. Other than that, I just want to tell you I always appreciate your comments and your opinions. Feel free to call me anytime you'd like.
Thank you, Lori. Okay, I'm going to tag on to everybody else on this past weekend. I think what was really so much fun when it was seeing everyone out enjoying what Sun Lakers do best, and that's have fun. So it was great. And everyone that braved the cold to listen to our wonderful resident bands who played for you because they love to entertain Sun Lakers, Tin Man's Heart and Elixir, we thank you. It was great. The garage sales this last month were pretty successful from what I could see, with everyone getting the opportunity to see friends that they haven't seen in a while and finding great buys on things they didn't know they needed. The Rules and Regulations Ad Hoc Committee, we met yesterday. Up to this point, we've reviewed 10 articles. We have one more meeting to go on Article 11, which is the big one, the master architectural information. Then those proposed changes will be compiled and sent to our legal counsel for review. So we're coming right along there. It's a great little group, and they've got some good ideas. As everybody said, we're slowly returning to normal, especially in the restaurant and lounge. So I'm asking everybody to please be patient and understanding with the staff as they learn our ways and systems. We do have a lot of new people, and they're stepping right up and doing what they need to do. I'd like to share a quote from author Mary Davis. She says, "We can't heal the world today, but we can begin with a voice of compassion, a heart of love, and an act of kindness." So with that being said, be kind to one another. Kindness costs nothing, but means everything. Okay, so the next open meeting, again, has been changed to June 30th at 6:30 p.m. So make sure you set your calendar or put that information on your calendar for that date. Okay, with that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting, please.
I make a motion, we adjourn the meeting.
And I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
The meeting is adjourned. Thank you.